Do you want to learn how to play guitar? Well, now's your chance. BandHouse Podcast is doing a giveaway. That's right. Last time we did an Epiphone giveaway. This time, this Starcaster made by Fender with an amp and accessories. It's U.S. only, and it's the entire month of February. Enter to win. We hope you're having a good time. Stay loud and enjoy this episode of BandHouse Podcast. Let's just go, dude. Let's go.
Hendrix is tearing apart your couch.
That's Pantera, dude. That's Pantera
Any
style.
loose change he finds, he gets to keep.
Gentlemen?
And blast!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BandHouse Podcast. With me on the couch, we got RJ, we got Steven, and we got returning BandHouse member Hendrix. Say hi, Hendrix.
Can you wave?
Wave to the camera. You see the camera, it's over there.
He's waving to himself. There you go.
Ah, good job, buddy.
He was waving to himself.
Anyway, this week we got, where's that notepad I had? We got a lot of topics to go over. The main topic is the Starcaster giveaway. Then we got the top 100 greatest guitarists. Then we got the BandHouse Big Four, which is basically Pantera instead of Anthrax. And then we got Pantera getting canceled.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start from the top.
Sorry.
What's going on over here? He's destroying.
He's saying he wants to put sheets on your...
You want to put sheets on it? Go ahead, bud.
Some sheets on it?
It needs it. They're dirty.
The sheets are dirty.
Yeah.
Yep. This whole basement is dirty.
Cleaner than upstairs.
That's true.
Get roasted, Aaron.
You know, I was actually actively thinking about that today, how much more organized you are than Aaron.
Well, I don't know.
Comparatively.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Very clean.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
I like to organize things.
Everything, like, I know where everything is in here.
Right.
Everything kind of has a spot. It's not the cleanest it could be, but
It's a weird spot.
You're
but they're
actually
in a
pretty
spot.
organized.
Yeah, thanks, Doug.
Yeah.
So how have you been?
Join a Patreon tonight. Like and subscribe. That's all I got.
Cool.
Nice. I don't even know that song.
Oh, man. You don't know that one?
No.
That's off of their fourth album.
Like and subscribe.
Careful, bud. Watch out for those cables. Don't pull them.
Hey, buddy, you got to come back over here. Perfect something, I think.
Thousand Fists.
No, it's Perfect.
That's the third
Thousand
album.
Fifths.
Third album.
I forget now, actually, what that song is called.
Yeah, I don't know it at all. What were you going to say? What you been up to? We were going to give an RJ segment.
Not a lot.
Hold on, let me intro RJ. Ladies and gentlemen, RJ Wilson.
Perfect Insanity is what it's called.
Nice. That's the album?
No, that's what
the
the song's
song.
called.
Cool.
Off of their, it's called Indestructible is the album.
Got it. Indestructible, which came after 1,000 Fists Up in My Butt.
Yeah.
Got it. Cool.
Yeah, I'm great.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
Yeah, before Steven cuts me off again.
So you're still unemployed.
I am.
Don't you love when people say that?
Yeah, I don't hear it enough throughout my week. It's a bad time to be in the tech industry. I'm not going to say any names, but the company I was working for just laid off another. So they were going to hire me back, and I took another interview, and it just went nowhere, which was weird. And I kind of was like, you know what, whatever. They just laid off like 1,200 more people today.
Whoa.
They laid off 17% of their workforce today because they're the new CEO is trying to cut costs, and you can go figure it out for yourself.
Is your new CEO Elon Musk?
No.
Is
It's
that
bad, dude. Like, I think Facebook or something laid off like 11,000 people a little while ago. Sorry. Yeah, man, it's not a fun time to be searching for a job, but I don't know.
Are you searching? Are you looking for anything?
Yeah.
Or are you sitting on savings or something?
I mean, I'm sitting on savings. I got laid off, so I'm getting unemployment for a little while.
That's how I've lived my whole life, dude. It's just like make some money, quit, sit on it.
You know what though? It is
Find
making
another
me.
way.
It's making me consider my options. It's making me consider like searching again for like audio engineering work, which is what I went to school for anyway. So we'll see. I'm confident I'll find something. I'm just trying to determine how much I want to push for a job that I don't care about.
Yeah.
So when I could just, do something I love, like music related.
Yeah. You got to do music. Be a sound guy.
I've thought about it. Yeah. I mean, I
get
have
a
enough
gig.
connections to where I could make it happen. But
Just
it's
do one gig.
you gotta
Oh,
be
that
really
reminds me.
hungry.
I got a gig every month. Once a month gig for the entire summer, like May to September.
Where?
At the
Rubens?
No, at the up north Rainier Base Camp. And I told them I want to bring the trio. And I said, give me every Friday you can. And they gave me some Fridays, but if it's a Saturday, you're in playing bass if you want.
Okay.
If you do want to play bass. Yeah. And unless Justin can, and then you'll play drums and I'll get someone else playing bass. No, this is just like covers. Same vibe.
Something making sound from the...
I feel you, bud.
I need to get a
Go Dog Go, huh?
Breakbeats kit.
Yeah, it's so good. Hendrix was playing it earlier.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was choking up on the sticks. He was holding back to reach the long ones. It was really adorable.
I need to get my own. I need to get one just to throw in the closet.
Was it like $400 or something?
They've gone up
Come
a
here,
little bit,
bud.
but yeah.
Have they?
They're like
Come give me a
500.
I know, I got mine for like $200.
I know.
Come give me a hug.
Because of that Guitar Center discount.
Yeah.
Best job.
Guitar Center
discount.
employees love when you ask for it, too. When you go in and expect it, like your friends or family.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely do that to every
Hey,
Guitar Center
if you're out there
employee you see.
watching and you're a douchebag.
That had to have
and you're-
been really uncomfortable.
Towards the end, I probably shouldn't say this.
Hold on, let me just give this little nugget. Let me expand on what you're saying.
Yeah.
Go into a Guitar Center employee, doesn't matter who they are, and be like, hey man, can I get your 20% friends and family discount?
You know what I used to
see
say?
what happens.
You know what I used to say when people would do that? Towards the end, I started getting... There was some guy
Go flub yourself?
that came in with a friend. They were like looking at a, like, I don't know, mid-tier guitar. I'll say that. It was
So like
not enough to where I want to give them a discount on it, but it was enough to where it's like, I get it. You're spending a little bit of money. You're not buying like a starter guitar.
Right. Like a Starcaster.
Sure. Yeah. I was going to say Squire.
Oh, yeah.
But...
Starcasters are one step up from Squire, maybe.
Yeah, Starcasters are cool. They don't make Starcaster anymore.
Well, here's the deal: is that Starcaster in particular was dope. I've never played it. It's been around for 11 years, just sitting. No one's played it.
Some of those earlier like Squires and Starcasters, like the entry level Fender brand stuff.
Yeah, it's probably 2010 or something.
Really good quality. Like they don't. I'm pretty sure those are still real rosewood fretboards. You can't get that on an under $1,000 Fender guitar.
There was
now.
rose under my tips. I felt good.
Rosy wood.
Yeah, I did have rosy wood on my tips.
Yeah.
Oh, but
Nice.
anyway, when people would come in and say that to me at GC, I remember this kid came in with his friend, and he was playing it. He was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about it," and the friend chimes in and goes, "Look, we know you guys have 20% off," and he looks at his friend and he goes, "Don't take it. Like, don't let him tell you he doesn't have one because he totally does."
And what'd you say?
I was like, "What discount are you referring to?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "You know which one?" And I'm like, "No, I want you to tell me."
Yeah.
He goes, "The friends and family discount you guys get every month." I was like, "Cool, which one are you?" I was like, "You don't get to just ask and expect it to happen." He's like, "Well, do you want the money or not?" I was like, "Not that bad."
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
It's not a
you don't
lo-
get to just like demand a discount out of me. If you're nice, I might give it to you.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not the end of the month.
Yeah.
I've got
crazy.
customers that like, it's not that I'm ungrateful.
That's a crazy way to try to get a deal.
And as a salesperson, you got to be the same level of energy and happiness if they're spending $5 or if they're spending $5,000. To me, it doesn't matter.
Steven knows all about this because
I know.
in car sales, I just
Oh,
realized.
dude,
Because here's what you want to do. If you're buying something and you're a customer, you want the employee sales associate to like you because you want them to go to bat for you to the manager. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You want to make the sale, but I always want to make the sale, but like if someone's a jerk, I don't really want to push. I don't want to like risk my boss saying no, rejection. I don't want that.
It's more like for me, if a customer is spending all this time beating me up, that by the time I get to my manager, like I'm beat up, and like my manager can tell, and he's just like,
it's not worth it.
he just doesn't. Yeah, and then he himself is just like, I'm just not into this. Like, I'm not doing this deal.
Yeah. So what would you say if you're out there and they're looking for a car or a guitar and you're trying to get a deal? What would you suggest?
I agree with it. Like, just be nice, and honestly, like,
just be nice, folks.
Yeah, real hot take.
I mean, seriously, like,
That's the hot take button.
I know, but
Don't be an asshole, and maybe we'll help you out. Like,
new strings.
We'll throw in some new strings.
That didn't apply.
Yeah, I don't know. It just, yeah. And it's one of those things, like I myself just I don't even know if I really believe in the whole negotiating thing in the first place.
It's just not part of our culture. But the problem with Guitar Center is that used to be the culture. You used to be able to, like in the 2000s, and I'll say, I understand the older customers that would come in and
They're
say,
grandfathered in.
Well, and they would say like, oh, this used to be able to haggle. Like, what happened to that? It's like the internet happened. What do you mean? Like,
right.
go on,
now we all know what everything's worth.
My nice answer to it was always like, look, in the age of the internet, there is a million places you can go for this guitar, and it's all the same price. Like, everybody, there's like a whole team of people looking at what Amazon sells it for and what Sweetwater sells it for.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like, if it's discounted one place, they're going to discount it everywhere.
Right. So haggle's dead. And
haggling does not exist.
It sounds
anymore.
fun. It
If
sounds
you
like a great time.
Anywhere else, you'll pay the same price for the, And also, like, there's just more selling points to buy it from a reputable dealer versus like a third party's sketchy website or something.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're getting.
That third
You don't want to get a guitar from like, I don't know, like a giveaway or something.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't know what the hell you're getting.
Yeah. Luckily you do this time. You heard us all play it. We all sounded dope too.
Yeah. No, that guitar is actually really nice.
I'm stoked. Yeah, the story with it was a family friend of mine wanted me to teach him guitar, and it's like, yeah, every time that happens, I say, I'm in. Give me a time and a place. And I think we sat down for one 30-minute session, and he's an adult, but he's like ADHD to the core. And it was just like, I could tell it went in and one out, I think.
It's also
because then that was it. Then there was no other lessons.
Was he a
after that.
friend too, or was he? Because it's hard to give lessons to people that are just like friends because they don't want to listen.
It's like an uncle, like an uncle type.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's hard. But I've done so many lessons with people and it doesn't work out. I mean, it does sometimes, but the teacher doesn't really matter as much. I think it's the person just has to want to learn.
Yeah.
Because then you'll just go through teachers until you find somebody speaking your language.
You have to want to practice. My issue is I never take the time to like practice as much as I should. I always wanted to. I still want to get better.
Maybe you and the rest of the fucking internet should respect the craft of music and not just think that it's all about writing a good
play
song.
Around you and Steve, and then I'm like, shit, I need to get better. Like, these guys are so
It's
good.
a respect for the people that came before.
It is totally.
I like doing it because it connects me to other guitar players who took it too seriously.
This is
I
a
know
good
that
transition into your list.
Yeah, because I freaking made a good list. It's not done. It's not nearly done. But
can we talk about why this started too? This list. It's because Rolling
Stones is awful.
Put out that,
and ours is easily going to be better than theirs.
Dog
no matter what.
shit list of the best singers. They put Freddie Mercury behind Mariah fucking Carey.
Oh yeah, that's totally false.
10 places behind her. She's number 5. He's number 15, I think, or 14, something like that.
Oh boy.
But that's not even an egregious, like not the most egregious thing. There's some crazy things in that list.
Who was number one?
Aretha Franklin.
Aretha Franklin was number 1, which is like, she should be in top 10, top 5.
I think Freddie Mercury's the best.
Number 1.
I think
he's the best.
There's an argument for Freddie.
I understand if you're like, you could make the argument that...
Or Celine Dion.
She's not on the fucking list.
Celine Dion, I know. That's
was
what
one of
it
the
was.
biggest snubs.
She's easily in my opinion, of what I've heard so far of singers, the most pitch and tone and timbre and belt accurate singer I've ever fucking heard. So I would put Celine Dion as my number 1. Freddie Mercury number 2.
Is she a... And I...
No, that's Whitney Houston.
Oh, Whitney Houston number 2.
She's on there. Here, I have
Freddie
the
number 2, Whitney Houston number 3.
I have the list saved.
No,
Celine Dion.
Celine does...
My Heart Will Go On, Titanic.
It's the other...
Here we are.
Oh.
That was pretty good.
I have to do like pop punk style, emo style vocals.
Danzig is on there, and he's behind Billie
Danzig
Eilish.
shouldn't be on a list of singers.
Wait,
period.
what?
Yeah.
Danzig is in 199. Billie Eilish is 198.
Now here's another thing, though. This is what I wanted to
I have
start.
more of an objection
Glenn
with like
Danzig does not belong.
I want
on
to
that list.
preface this conversation with, just because I know that people are going to take it out of context and it's wildly ridiculous. He's a great artist. He wrote good songs, whatever.
I think he's a great singer. I just don't know if he's top 200
Right.
of
There's
all
also
time.
like of all time means living and dead. You got to go through the archives. You got to find the right ones. You got to take the time
That's
to do the research.
thing I have.
And that's what I
swear
want
to
to do.
God, Rolling Stone has just become. I used to love that magazine. I subscribed to that magazine for a really long time. And
Yeah, I never have, but
then they just started becoming more and more like like too much of a pop culture magazine, and just this. It's like clickbait in written form. It's just I hate it.
So
now.
we're making the Better Than the Rolling Stones 100 Greatest Guitar Players BandHouse podcast approved list, and we want your help. But if you don't play guitar and you come out hot, I'm gonna be mad, because that's wild. People who are like, how could you put blah de blah? And I go to their page. I'm like, there's no evidence of them being a guitar player whatsoever. I'm like, you're just repeating the same ideology that other people repeat. Yeah, Pink Floyd is good. Yeah, we know. Give me something though.
I do have some. I have
critiques?
some critiques of your list as well.
Well, let's check. RJ, do you play guitar?
I do play guitar.
Okay, well then let me listen.
Okay. I fucking love Eddie Van Halen.
Yeah.
Love him. He's probably my favorite guitar player from that era.
I'm okay with him. He's up there though.
He is. I've seen him live. He was incredible.
You've seen him live too?
I haven't seen
No,
him.
That was
just
my
you.
first. That was my first rock show.
I've never seen him live.
That's
one of
pretty
my
cool.
first, if not my. I think that was my very first rock show. My
And was
big
he
arena
good?
Show.
He's always
incredible.
good, right? Yeah.
He's incredible. I wish I was a little bit older because I would have appreciated it even more. But,
Of course.
I'm glad to say I can see him. I don't know if he would be my. I don't know if he'd be number one.
Mm-hmm. I've been sitting
I think
on it
he's
for a
top
while.
5 just because of how fucking.
Who would you put as
innovative
number
it is.
one? Because I
I don't know.
number one.
I knew that was the.
You know who
follow-up.
I think should be number one? Paul Gilbert. Because
good pick.
he has some songs that people know. Not I know.
Who's Paul Gilbert?
Yeah, that's why
So
he's
not Steven.
He's just been done so dirty on all the lists, and a lot of people in the comments agreed with me at that one. So I think that's going to be a popular.
Even though
one.
he's a bigot and an
Paul
asshole
Gilbert
now.
is?
No. I was gonna say,
Clapton.
I was. Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
it'd be funny if you were going to say someone else.
I might
like John
put Clapton
Mayer.
as number one. He's pretty
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
I know you don't like Steven's answer, but I kind of agree. Hendrix was pretty incredible and innovative for his time. I don't. It's really hard to pick.
Well, I was thinking that the Hendrix argument you made was good. It was you think Hendrix is the shit when you don't know anything, and then you learn and you're like, oh wait, he's not that good, and then you contextualize it and become an adult and say, oh, okay, he is good.
He is that
But
good.
I'm saying you go one step further and say, okay, he was that good, but there's more guitar players in history that are doing more. Like Van Halen, I think was more better.
Well, he and
and was just as famous, but wrote way better songs and longevity.
I think
people
Eddie
don't
Van,
know how much he touched too. Like he was the guitar
Van
on
Halen?
Thriller. He
That's-
was the guitar.
yeah.
Yeah, Eddie.
You mean
well,
Beat It?
and he was
Beat
like
It.
the,
Yeah,
I
Beat
feel
It.
like he was the first guy that
my
really
uncle said
opened
that was the
up
guy.
that just that shred guitar.
Well, he and Randy Rhoads were like
vibe.
basically the
Perfect.
inventors of tapping.
Okay, and here's
they
the argument I have
Right.
against
changed guitar forever.
And here's the argument I have against Randy Rhoads being a number 2. Someone was trying to make an argument that they're the same.
I saw that.
Randy Rhoads is, I love him, but he's way too sloppy.
He's not as good as Eddie
No.
Van Halen.
And I
Eddie
know
Van
that
Halen
that's
was much cleaner as a
that's
player.
like saying wasn't that good, which if you listen to his pitch was wildly inaccurate a lot of the time, but I'll probably cut this out because that's an insane thing to say out loud.
Yeah.
So,
no,
but-
it's I agree with.
You'll
that.
notice Santana's not on my list because he sounds like an 8th
Here's the
grader
thing,
playing guitar.
It depends on what you're grading this on.
Goodness.
I mean, it's like
Pitch.
right.
Pitch has to be
But the
so
fact
like
that
Van
he
Halen,
had
so
that-
good.
It's like the same thing for Fred. Like Freddie wasn't always.
I know, he was
Freddie
a little
Mercury
out.
wasn't always
He was a little
perfectly
out.
on pitch. Like
That's why
did you know-
Celine is number 1 and he's number 2.
But he was still everyone's seen the Live Aid performance of Queen.
good.
It's the greatest, one of, if not the greatest rock performance of all time. One of probably the top 5 ever.
I'm on
in
board with
history.
that.
He had a fucking cold for that. He
Right.
thought he left that day and said I sounded like shit. Like
dude,
that is how the story goes. He
You're
had a
only
fucking
as good
cold,
as
and
you
he
are
still
when you
sounded
have a
that
cold.
fucking good.
You have to be good when you have. Someone told me that when I was like 21. They're like, no matter what, like she was talking more of like an opera in front of a panel of judges thing, but she was like, no matter what, you're gonna need to sing. So if you're sick, you better be able to know how to sing sick.
There's just something about like even when he is pitchy, it's like the fucking power he had
Right.
behind his voice.
It was
And
never
that's the same
bad
thing of
pitchy.
Cornell.
Yeah,
It's just like you can hear it in his breath work, like how fucking powerful.
Freddie
he is when
had
he pushes
vibrato
out any
up high.
note at any. But right, but like it's
Like a sharp vibrato.
most people when they go really high, they lose a lot of that power, and you can kind of tell where they're kind of at the top of the range. You can never tell where Freddie's
true.
range stops because it's always the same.
I would respect a list with him as number 1 for sure. That's the thing is we just want a respectable list.
100%.
I want ideally I want
How dare he is behind Mariah Carey?
Ideally, I
and
want the
some of these other
guitar player list to be you pick a guitar player and you look up and you go, oh yeah, not as good as that. And you look down, oh yeah, better than that. Every time. That's the goal of this list.
people. But that's really hard too.
because it's insanely
It's objective.
subjective.
It's totally
yeah, but
yeah,
it's
it's
also
subjective.
objective, and we're going to get to the bottom of it.
You have
Yeah.
to be objective, and it is very subjective.
All about speed.
Because I would put like Keith Richards. I think
BPM.
is like it depends if you're grading it on technical proficiency.
Yeah, he's
Keith
not
Richards
making.
would not make it on the.
He's
fucking
probably not going to
list.
make the BandHouse list
Why?
because it's just sloppy and it's just chords.
But everyone knows all those riffs.
I know, but that's not the list.
And RJ does have a point. And
but that's not this list.
I was just about to make this point about Randy Rhoads. I think
everybody knows, oh, baby, you.
Randy Rhoads is kind of a good middle ground, too.
Randy Rhoads.
You know all the riffs, but he's also an incredible solo.
But you also know all of his solos, too. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, I'm trying to think of, like, I know Eruption, but I can't think of, like,
everyone knows the solo on Crazy Train.
Everyone knows the solo on Crazy Train. Everyone knows, like, Mr. Crowley.
Yep.
Like, they know, like, it's very iconic solo. Whereas Eddie Van Halen's, I mean, they're very good.
Too hard
but, like,
to play.
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of, like, the Panama. Oh, Running with the Devil.
Yeah, Running with the Devil.
There's a solo. What do you got, Hendrix? You got a song you want to sing?
And also, Randy Rhoads has a lot more riffs. He's got a lot more.
Okay, I like this where this argument's
riffs.
going. Well, I'm obviously, you see what my standpoint is, so I'll hold true on this angle of it, and you guys hold true on your angles, and we'll get the best list.
But where is the argument for riffs?
Okay,
'Cause,
so
like, Tony Iommi, I wouldn't say has like the best technique, but he is probably like
His
the
solos are
riff
Also,
god.
probably one of my favorite guitar
His solos are
tones
good.
ever. Like
He's
the album
Tone.
Great tone.
Tone
I
is
mean,
probably-
Tony Iommi's got like the best riffs ever.
Well, here's the thing: style and
I mean,
feel.
his riffs are incredible.
Here's what I want to say.
He's up there,
Just to
for
be
sure,
clear,
riff-wise.
style and feel is implied. I don't even want. If you're on the top 100, you're not going to be someone without style and feel.
Yeah.
So to make that critique is insane. You know who you are.
So Zach Wilde's number one then.
No.
Style and feel. Well, because like, what does that even mean?
Ooh.
There's
Stevie
speed.
Ray Vaughan.
John Five?
John Five is
John Five should
Oh,
probably
he's
be in
savage.
this.
He's savage.
an incredible player, and he has great riffs.
It's like the most bizarre part of a Rob Zombie concert is they're playing it, and all of a sudden they give John Five just like 2 minutes, and
He's in Rob Zombie.
yeah.
Yeah.
John Five is the guitar player for Rob
I
Zombie.
thought he was
Rob
Marilyn
Zombie,
Manson.
White Zombie.
Marilyn
He's in all of
Manson.
them. He was the Manson guitar player. For
That's
would
how I know
assume.
him as.
I would assume he played for Manson.
He's
yeah.
played for so many people. And you know what's have you ever heard like him play country?
Oh yeah, he's really good. He's like
I've
Buckethead
never
kind of
heard
good.
of him.
Isn't he
Dude,
like
he's
Buckethead style? Like
Insane.
insanely
Like,
good at guitar.
Just like that old school like chicken
Well, he makes the
picking,
list.
just- oh, he's
because
so,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about someone
John
who's
Five,
like
seven.
Paul
And that's
Gilbert.
me being objective because I like his riffs. I like Rob Zombie. I like some Marilyn Manson music. Sorry for the controversy.
Whatever. Yeah.
I like Marilyn Manson.
do?
Gotta
Shouldn't
believe
know
that.
I mean, we shouldn't
that's
say.
That's a TOS word on.
Oh yeah.
on
Well,
YouTube.
they're all treated the same now, so now I'm just gonna start blasting that word off.
Google it. Google it.
I know.
Google what Marilyn Manson allegedly. I know, man.
I know.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, I that's me being like he is objectively one of the greatest guitar players of this century. I
Maroon
would say.
5.
Or this
Maroon 5.
John
no.
5.
John 5. yeah.
Whatever.
Adam 5.
Whatever. Same thing. No. Okay. So yeah, it doesn't have to be like your favorite guitar player.
No, but
Yeah.
objectively, I can honestly say like he seems.
And so, what does
I
Keith
mean, he
Richards
seems like
bring to the
Who's
table?
like- who's
Make an
like
argument
your,
for Keith Richards being in the
okay, yeah.
top 100. I want to just
because he has written. First of all,
songs.
they've been going for 60 fucking years and
Longevity.
still are creating great. Like they're still objectively making
Songwriting.
amazing songs.
Are they coming
His
out with new
songwriting-
songs?
Yes.
Style and feel is implied. I get that. He's
His style and
obviously
his
has
feel-
the most style and the most feel.
I don't really even need to make the argument. If you go watch a video of him live, especially like in the 70s, like the Some Girls era.
Yeah,
Like-
I just remembered something. I went to look up because a lot of people, or you were saying, Pete Townsend.
Pete Townsend.
and I'm like, I don't know enough about him. I know the songs, but I don't know how good he is at guitar. I know he's like not a great singer, and it's funny and it's kind of cool, but I don't know his technique. So I look up top 10 fucking Pete Townsend moments, and then the whole video was him smashing guitars. So I think he should be on the list just for that. He invented smashing guitars, basically.
Yeah.
He did.
I mean,
That-
Jimmy
that
was
was a
Jimmy
big-
burned it and smashed them, but like he was like the guy who smashed guitars, and Keith Moon smashed drums, and I think that goes higher than technique for me. That's higher than
apparently-
speed. Is if you smash your shit.
They had this. The Kids Are All Right, I think, was the name of the movie or the like show or something. They played My Generation and then smashed. I think it was like staged, if you will.
but a real smash,
They
like WWE
put
stage.
like an M80 in Keith Moon's bass drum and lit it.
Oh yeah. That's good.
And allegedly he lost his hearing in his fucking ear because of that.
Oh no.
Because he was so close to it when he.
Bummer.
That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's actually true. That's
What's
all.
good lore? I like lore.
I mean, he only lived another 15 years anyway. So.
Rock and roll lore. So he's 15 years deaf,
Yeah.
like Beethoven.
That's not too bad.
So yeah.
Pete
doing,
Townsend's
bud?
still deaf.
So a couple more I wanted to talk about on the list. Tosin Abasi,
Oh yes,
Tim Henson,
100% Tosin.
I don't
and
know who Tosin is.
Sinister
Animals
Gates.
as leaders.
Oh.
People were dying on TikTok for Sinister Gates.
Everyone just has a.
I don't understand. I don't get it. The argument they made was
Feels spot.
The
for-
argument they made was he plays the right
Sevenfold.
notes in the right spots, and I like that argument. And I do think that he does
You know
have
what?
good
If
solos.
I'm going off of the riffs argument, he's got some really cool riffs too.
What's a good riff?
Afterlife is a really cool riff. Hang on.
Let's go! He said he walked away, try not to lose
Here.
you.
We'll bleep this. Can we bleep this?
Yeah.
Okay. Listen to this riff. I think this might be my favorite Avenged Sevenfold riff.
I'll just mute it right now, and it'll just say Sinister Gates riff. What's the name of the song?
Afterlife.
So look up Afterlife, and you can listen to it with us.
Wait for it. Wait for the heavier part.
Good tone,
coming.
good uniqueness. I know who it is immediately. He's got like spaghetti tone.
They do a lot of like harmony.
Spaghetti
stuff.
harmony.
There's two guitars going here. It's almost Dragon Forces. Here you go. This part.
Oh yeah.
Fucking love that riff. I've always loved that riff.
Yeah, that's a good riff. So maybe, I don't know, top 100 though?
That's the thing. If we're making the argument like I was for Keith,
his technical abilities, whatever. I think that's the
he's got
most
good technical
important
ability, but-
part of this, because everything else is going to be, all the other things we're grading on it are going to be the implied stuff that the Rolling Stones did too, like lore, longevity, all the arguments, like songwriting, great riffs, blah, 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 blah.
My opinion.
I feel like all 100 have to have 10 out of 10 on all those categories, and then we
But that's
rate them.
hard.
But then we rate them based on which one actually sat and sacrificed his life to the instrument, so we can put him high up on a
but
list
the thing
where he
is, if
deserves to be.
everyone is a 10 out of 10, then how do you rank them? And
By who's
like,
better?
Then it's way
By
more.
who's
Dude,
better?
Sinister
But that's
No. The objective better. Who's literally cleaner at higher BPMs or at even
Dude,
lower?
honestly,
how I grade what
I
a
will
great guitar
say-
player is.
Because
Sinister-
that takes the most effort and the most skill.
No,
Dude.
I
I would listen to more Avenged Sevenfold, because Sinister Gates is kind of a dark horse in this
Yeah.
list, I think,
Goddamn,
because
yeah.
he is really good.
Mm-hmm.
He's really like Backcountry. You remember the guitar solo to Backcountry? Oh, dude.
That song came out after I already
Really?
didn't like him, so I
Not sweep arpeggios, but a really clean arpeggiated
Here, hang on.
thing.
Yeah.
It's good, man. And also the solo to Afterlife. I'm
he's
surprised you
into
didn't
it.
play the solo to Afterlife.
yeah, we could do that. Here, hang on.
So for what I'm saying is he could be number 100 or 99 because he writes great songs, but like it's a little sloppy for my taste.
I don't want to find it. I'm not
I
gonna do
don't
it.
know, man. Sinister Gates is not very. He's pretty clean.
Is he clean? Well, I'll
think
give him
that's-
another run back. I could
Oh,
just hear
man.
it right there. It sounded like an 8th grader
This
playing
sounds
instead
more
of
like Taylor's list and not
no,
like an
no,
objective list.
It's objective, and it's because
It's not objective.
It
You're
is
only grading
objective.
it on like how clean,
how
they play.
good a guitar player is by how good you are at an instrument.
Good is subjective.
No,
in
it
and of
isn't.
itself.
I feel like
It
it's
is.
really not.
It is.
You know what's subjective? Songs. You just said we all know the songs. That's the most objective thing you could say. But what I'm saying is someone who, when they play, they hit only the string they're trying to hit. They don't flub notes. They don't have sloppy playing. I like that. You know that I like sloppy playing. Buddy Guy's my top 3 guitar players. But I
gonna
wouldn't
say-
put him on the list because he doesn't like, okay, if we were talking about painters, this wouldn't be a conversation. Because you grade painters based on their technical ability. So we wouldn't even have an argument right now.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
There's fucking things in an art museum where it's like a splatter of paint on a white
Right.
canvas, and that's art just as much as
But
Mona Lisa is art.
but it's not only that. It's mostly good shit.
No, that is good shit.
No, but it's mostly good painting. If you go into, unless it's a Picasso thing and it's all that random abstract
So you're going to
stuff.
discredit all of like abstract, like very minimalist.
What I'm saying is, if someone was saying, "Wow, this person's usage of lighting is so good,"
but what if it's good for the genre that they're going for, or like the style that they're going for?
That's obviously, that has to be.
Like,
again, top 100. That has to be the case. It can't be someone who's playing the wrong genre.
But what I'm saying is like
Eric Johnson.
Okay,
top 10, one of the best, cleanest, greatest guitar players of all time.
Do you know why he
didn't write any good songs?
He wrote, but that's the thing.
One good song,
one memorable, maybe two memorable songs.
Right. So he has that. That's good. Most guitar players, like Paul Gilroy, I can't name in technical difficulties, and I don't know the theme. But Cliffs of Dover is one of the most famous guitar songs of all time.
Like, I don't think a lot of people know Joe Bonamassa's songs by name, but he's a good guitar player.
Yeah, I struggled where to put him because of his cleanliness, but also his good style and feel.
I gotta say, just a quick plug to him. I had never I'd never really dove into his catalog, and then my uncle gave me a ticket to go see him. He had an extra ticket to go, and
that
he
would be
texted me like a week before, and he's like, "Hey, I know this is last minute. Do you want to go with me?" And I was like, "Hell yeah!" It's free and it's at the Paramount, and so we went, and he like blew me away with how good he was. Not only he's a great singer too.
Oh, I know, he's a really good, amazing singer,
and he just I don't know, he just has this kind of like chill dad vibe. He just makes dad jokes on stage and stuff. Like he's just like,
I found it, by the way.
All right, we got to bleep this again.
What song is this?
Afterlife. Same song.
Afterlife.
This is the solo. The same riff from the beginning.
Good composition, we would call that, right?
Here you go.
Dragged a little bit there.
Okay, but now in my head, I just imagine Michael Romeo playing that.
I think there's two.
I don't know who that is.
I don't think
Symphony
that's all. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Just a better, objectively, not my opinion. It's just better, dude. That's fine.
Not my opinion. It's just better.
Because it was obviously sloppy. You guys aren't arguing that was Eric Johnson clean or Eddie Van Halen clean or any of that.
I'm arguing that it was cleaner than you gave him credit for.
All right.
Yeah. That's what I'm arguing.
One objection to that, though, I don't know if that's entirely Sinister Gates playing. That's the other guitar player is equally good.
Who's his name? Nobody knows. I didn't know there was two. I thought he just double tracked.
You know what's so cool about them? It's like the coolest thing about Avenged Sevenfold, in my opinion, is Sinister Gates plays right-handed. The other guitar player is left-handed.
That's the coolest thing you can do.
So when they stand next to each other, it's like the perfect V.
They become Michelangelo Badio themselves. I didn't put Michelangelo Badio on the list. Why?
I don't know.
Because it's not good. Objectively, he's fast. He's fast and he's clean.
On this list?
I put him as 100 right now on this list.
Fuck that, and you won't put Keith Richards?
But he's clean.
James Hetfield is a really good guitar player. I mean,
more impressive. So here's a scale I'm trying to say.
Objectively,
how hard would it be?
He only does the riffs in that band. Like Kirk is lifting all the weight.
No, he actually does some lead.
Let me make a statement. Let me make a statement.
So does Keith.
Let me make a statement that anyone who plays Metallica knows. It is harder to play James's part all the way through a song than it is to play Kirk's. In fact, when the solo comes on,
I'll buy that.
When I'm playing Kirk's solo, that's the break for my right arm. So James, you know what he's doing while Kirk's soloing? No break.
He's such a beast with down picking.
It's ungodly. It's unheard of. There's no one in his caliber.
And that's why he makes the list, because he does this better than anybody else.
It's clean. It's fast. It's clean. It's accurate. It's riffs we all know. It's songs. It's longevity. It's got everything. Plus
riffs we all know, but
it's also
it's got everything.
I know,
you said,
but it's also
good at guitar.
It's also what he plays while he's singing too.
Yeah,
I mean, like
that can factor in. That can factor in.
Disposable Heroes is like the perfect example. It's like, how is he playing that?
That's the song I was talking about too. I can't play that all the way through, but if I switch to the solo, to the lead stuff, I can play it all the way through. I think that anyone who knows will know that James is holding that shit together.
Yeah, it's
what I was going to say about Sinister Gates. Sinister Gates is on a cleanliness level of Alexi Leo, which is nothing to shake a stick at.
I will say, yeah, the fact that he can do those like riffs and sing
I can't play that fast. Oh, you're talking about James, yeah.
Hetfield, yeah.
I just wanted to interject. Alexi Leo, does he make top 100? He's pretty dirty.
I believe so.
Yeah, because of No Choice.
Alexi
He's got
Leo,
good No Choice. But it's same with Sinister Gates. It's kind of like
Alexi Leo went so he was.
I don't think he's top 100 though.
In my opinion, he went so against the grain of death metal because it was like he's got like some bluesy stuff, but then also like
he had great solos.
Yeah,
Kissing the Shadows.
Really good.
Kissing the Shadows. Yeah, your argument of remembering solos. I remember a lot of Needle 24/7.
Dude, yes.
That's clean. See, he gets clean. He gets clean.
Yeah. Think about when Children of Bodom came out. It was like, what, 90s or something?
Yeah.
Dude, such a...
Right, they were early on.
Way different idea. Even from underground death metal, like from what death metal was doing, they had this cool, like...
They were like
kind
cool,
of
they were like
80s
cool Yngwie
with the
Malmsteen.
Keyboard, right?
They were Yngwie Malmsteen for badass people.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty sweet. Chance.
Yeah.
All
so
right.
again, I got all my emotions out, and I've heard your debates to them. We'll get the internet debates to my.
And I do understand Taylor's argument about Michelangelo Badio because he is strictly technique. That's all it is technique, and it's just
that's
him
the thing, like,
shredding his.
But I said the top 100, you have to have style and feeling.
But it's about how they fit into the music, because like if you're gonna not put him on the list because it's only technique, but then you've got other people that are like 10 out of 10 technique and their songwriting is good, like
then they'll be on the top.
But it's still like different weights for different.
I feel like there is definitely not a
person.
top of guitar. Like the scale can continue. I think you can actually find a best guitar player.
Okay,
I think
then let me throw one at you.
Yeah,
that's not on the list. I don't think, and I want to see what you say.
Okay,
Malcolm Young.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Arguably the best rhythm guitar player of all time.
You know the riff.
Absolutely.
Great tone.
Absolutely.
And good riffs.
Zero.
Didn't he write most of the riffs?
He and... Yeah,
no. Why am I even thinking about it? He's definitely on the list.
Then what is your argument?
Because he's the greatest rhythm guitar player of all time. That's literally what he's known as. So he has to be on the top 100.
Dude, he like taught me...
He can be 99, but he's on the...
Like strum,
he's in the pocket.
He's when to strum all the way through also, when to not strum all the way through.
What a tone.
But
what a tone,
in regards
man.
to
Such good tone.
My argument
especially
on that
stuff.
Cleanliness, my cleanliness, he doesn't have to be a shreddy cleanliness. He plays in the pocket, baby.
Well, his
pocket is so
like
perfect.
if you actually listen to like
tone.
Back in Black and
tone
earlier,
is so good. He's got great tone.
It's so clean.
Yeah.
It's
I
actually
love
so, like it's really not dirty tone. Everyone thinks
he's got really good tone.
How many times are you gonna fucking say he's got really good tone? Jesus Christ! I was like, is he fucking?
He has really good tone.
Nice. I like that. Really good tone.
Actually, I do want to because I want to confirm this. Wasn't their whole thing is they biased their tubes just really hot, but they were actually playing on the clean channel of their amp.
I think the whole formula was a 59 super lead Marshall, the King 100-watt head. Dimed on volume. I think the gain is just dimed, but like that amp doesn't break up super duper easy. Mm-hmm. It's just got natural grit as you go up because there's no, if I recall correctly, there's no like master volume on those because they're made in like early 70s, I think.
That's so bizarre.
That was how like if you look at old tube amps, that's how most of them were. Like old Fender, Fender Deluxes. If you adjust EQ on like an old Fender Deluxe or an old like Fender Twin Reverb, if you put more treble or more bass, it adds volume too. There's no master volume in the circuitry until
just all tens.
So I'm pretty sure someone will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the Super Lead does not have a master volume.
Right.
So the gain was, I know a lot of people like Billy Joe from Green Day. That's what he uses too. He uses a Marshall.
Apparently, he's a savage guitar player.
No,
he's a closet.
The last clip I posted, people were like, "Actually,
Billy Joe?
Dude plays really good guitar."
I mean,
I was like, "What?"
I don't think he would make. I don't know.
Not 100 top.
Well,
he's made so again,
but he'd surprise you.
I mean, the only argument that I would have for Billy Joe Armstrong is he's got iconic riffs.
Brains too, the number one.
I mean, yeah,
riff
they
of all
got-
time.
Dude,
probably.
he makes so many people want to like the amount
he's got
of
a
like
lot of
younger
guitar riffs. I'll
generations
give him
that he
that.
has made into guitar players because of his playing, because it's accessible, and because the riffs are fun and like very memorable.
That's a Rolling Stones pick. He's probably high up on their list.
So is Malcolm Young. That's what I'm saying.
Really?
Like Malcolm, totally.
Yeah, but
that was the first rock band I got into.
If we were to
and-
play Billy Joe playing and Malcolm Young, I would bet, and I don't know, but I would bet you'd tell that Malcolm Young is a better player. I don't know how else to say it. He could play
He's in the pocket.
for longer, probably. Because
I don't know.
punk rock doesn't need the pocket. You know my feelings about Green Day's drummer and his pocket. He's got zero of it. So again, though, I like
You
to
wanna do
choose
this
things.
again?
I don't. Sorry, I'm getting hot. I keep getting hot. I get hot. You know, I'll back off.
defend Lars, but
I'll back off.
shit on Trey.
But I'm not. I
Cool.
wouldn't put Lars on anybody's list. I wouldn't put either of them on
You
anybody's drum
found
list.
one video where Trey is playing shittily.
But it was just like.
And he's not even playing that bad. He's playing with he's on a stage full of other drummers. Like,
Yeah.
do you know how fucking hard that is?
Yeah. But
Like-
when they made him isolate, it was just so obvious that he wasn't Jojo Mayer. That's all. Jojo Mayer would be on my list of top
very
drummers,
different-
but
I think Trey would be in my top
on
100.
your right, he would make your list, not mine.
He would
That's
not make
why
your top
the power of
100
us.
drummers.
No, because there's drummers
Oh,
like
you are
Steve
so
Gadd.
full of shit.
There's drummers
Would
like
fucking
Steve Gadd.
Lars be on
And
here?
no. Real
Okay.
drummers
All
who
right,
play good and clean. I feel crazy. The internet's made me crazy. They're like, no, it's
Lars
all
would
about
be number
style.
one.
I'm like, what
You should
about?
have never started this list.
I was like, what about the whole
You're gonna
reason
cause
that we
turmoil
all play
between us
guitar
and
so we
the-
can get good?
No.
That's it. When we're all kids, we're like, oh, look at this riff. And then it turns into
What's more
what
important?
You can't play.
Technical proficiency or making a riff that everyone remembers forever and it's like this iconic piece of like culture.
Well, it depends on
and
what you mean
music.
by important.
I think to be on the top 100, you might have to have both.
No. Maybe
So
it's
you're
just
saying
me.
you could suck at guitar and be on the top 100
I
guitars.
could name 100 ACDC. Well, I don't know.
Well, no, because he just said technical proficiency.
I could name
and
has to
iconic
be.
riffs.
Yeah, you have to
I
have
could
both.
name
And he
25
said no.
iconic Malcolm Young riffs
Yeah.
before I could name one Yngwie Malmsteen song.
Yeah.
But
So I
because
agree
his
with that.
technical
So-
proficiency
so
is so good,
I-
but it's not what I remember. Like
And I agree with
there's,
that.
There's examples of both, like Cliffs of
My-
Dover by Eric Johnson.
Right.
Like,
But see, like
there's-
I
that's
put
an example of both,
Yngwie,
'cause
I
I
put
can remember
Yngwie
that.
and Steve Vai both in the category of Michelangelo Badio, where for me it's just purely technique.
Keith Richards had,
They're amazing. What?
I don't know if Keith
what's
is the
that
one I'm willing to die
one
on, but I think
Yngwie
he
Malmsteen
deserves to be on the list.
No, I'm thinking of a Coheed and Cambria
See?
riff.
I'm thinking of Coheed and Cambria.
And Eric Johnson, it's like you can name two songs. I can name
But like Joe
Desert Rose and
Satriani,
Cliffs of Dover.
surfing with the alien.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotta be on the list.
Yeah,
It's just weird when you see-
You're proving my point.
Here's
But
the
Joe
final word.
Satriani is
I'll get less
he's a
hot.
perfect example of he's like mostly technique, but Satch Boogie is a very memorable riff, very good riff.
Yeah. All right,
And so
let me-
he's definitely in there.
Let me put a period on this thing.
All right.
It doesn't matter, our list. So that's why I'm pushing our shit so hard. Because there's already lists of who's memorable. Kurt Cobain. But what about Paul Gilbert, who dedicated his life to guitar and he's on nobody's top list? It makes me sad as a person who dedicated my life to guitar and as someone in my life who recently has passed, I think is where all the emotion's coming from. Is because Chris was one of us, a technique guy. But do you know his songs? No, he wasn't famous. He should make the list, though. He was so good.
He was so
He was
good.
clean
He
and
was
beautiful and had a
so good.
style and it was unique and it was shredded and he had knowledge and he knew
I
the
am
riffs.
totally not discrediting that because
No, I know.
it takes a special kind of player like your uncle, like
Right, and that's the list I want to focus on is players that dedicate their so Michelangelo should probably be on the list.
I just feel like,
But Malcolm Young's got to be on there too because he is so good.
well, I mean,
Angus Young, I wanted to be number 3,
but he's
number 1.
not technically proficient by that. I mean, he is for a rhythm guitar player. He's but that's what he is. He is all the rhythm
I think
of that
it's-
band.
I think-
no one gives a shit about the bass player. I'm sorry, Cliff Williams. I know your name because I loved AC/DC. but
He
no one
knows
gives
the
a shit
name.
about. But that's the
I
thing.
didn't
Like,
know his name. That's
like
so funny.
it wasn't really like in every other band, the bass player and the drummer are the heartbeat.
Yeah.
Not an AC/DC.
It's the rhythm guitar.
It was Malcolm Young
So-
was the whole rhythm section. He is
so-
the metronome. You can see it in his foot.
Can we talk about something else that I think AC/DC especially brings to the table as far as criteria? what about live performance? Because I mean, Angus Young
Incredibly
is probably
consistent.
number one when it comes to live performance.
Yeah. Well, you know, it would be a more
Dude, he is.
Hold on.
He runs
Yeah.
5 miles
He has
in one
to-
night.
You have
He
to
puts
give
on
it to
a
him.
show, and yeah, it's impressive that he can play and sing.
It's
He's
incredible.
literally putting his life on the line.
not play and sing, play and dance at the same time, if you will.
It's insane, man.
It's crazy.
I was
I
exhausted.
saw him just like 5 years
watching
ago, and he did
He
a
still
two.
does it. Yeah, he's
like
in
an
his
hour-long
70s and still
shred,
doing that.
up on a thing, down on a thing.
That is one of the
what we
best
should
shows
do.
I've ever
A
seen.
more fun conversation, which has way more subjectivity. I think the greatest guitar players is super objective. I don't know. It's super easy for me to see if a guitar player is better than the other, but the subjective parts, the stuff you guys bring in, makes it challenging, because I do think you do have to sprinkle that in. It can't just be a bunch of fucking nonsense shredders, because they're all at the highest BPM. I don't care about that. I like the clean feel. The Yngwie to me is like a volcano erupting. I can see it, and it's music. It's art.
I totally forgot about Tosin Abasi. I'm like,
He should probably be.
We've
I'm about
already
to-
put more thought into our
I'm-
list than
I'm
Rolling
about
Stone
to
put
go.
into that fucking
I know.
singers list.
Okay, a list that would be less hot, because I put a lot of. I know this doesn't matter, but it's a conversation that I've never got to have before, and I want to do it right. But a top 100 bands would be way more fun.
Oh, that's
Impossible.
Even Rolling Stone magazine did the best songs of all time.
So
Do you know what
hard.
number one was? I'll give you a hint. We have talked about him with other people in the room.
Who?
Bob Dylan.
Oh, it's the
What
best
song?
He's the best songwriter. Oh,
What song do you think they picked by Bob
rock and
Dylan?
roll.
Nope.
What? No, that's not what it's called.
all on the Watchtower.
Nope.
No, it's the
Knocking
through the
on
bumps
Heaven's
of
Door.
dime.
That's actually a good guess, though, but no.
Through the bumps of dime in your prime.
Think
Didn't you? That's not the best song of all time. Is it that one though?
like a Rolling Stone.
Like a roll. It's because it's got their name.
That's what I thought
That's
too.
the only reason. That song's fine.
I can't remember what number.
I mean,
I think
that song's great, but
I have the.
It's the best song ever.
okay, it's the best one. It's so fun.
It's a cool song.
It's a really good
It's a great song.
Remember when it came on your at your party and we fucking jammed out to it and it was fun.
It's
It was
objectively a
Dylan's
great
birthday
song.
party, so they played Bob Dylan all night. It was got to hear
very
some
good.
deep
Yeah,
tracks.
he's a big Bob Dylan guy.
named after him. Okay, so
I didn't. Is that really?
that's true. His
Oh, maybe he has.
His parents are a little bit
He
older,
talked about that
so
with his
they're at that
tattoo.
age.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
All right, let's do. There's really no time. That kind of did the whole podcast.
That's it.
So
just debated.
this will be the
Put
final
fucking
word.
Keith Richards and Pete Townsend on
This
that
will be the
list.
final word, and then depending on the comments and how much I take the
Someone
comments
back
into
me up
heart.
in this comment section. That
Oh, I'm sure
Can we
they
throw
will.
Can we throw Tony Rombola in there just because I love Godsmack?
Yeah, we'll throw them in there. Well, here's the thing: there's spots available, so let's throw everybody in. And here's what we'll do: we'll put Keith in, but he might get cut.
Is that enough criteria? I like the band, so
Yeah.
put him in there.
Yeah,
is Brian May on your list?
he better be.
Oh my God, he better be on there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another.
I
good
just wanna get
example of
100
just iconic
He's-
riffs.
but
Too.
you know what?
And also good tone.
He's mostly clean, but there is examples of him like missing notes and stuff a little bit
Cut
here and there.
Cut him from the list.
Fuck.
You miss one
off.
note in your
No
career.
way.
Guess who didn't miss one note in his career?
SRV.
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
SRV.
Dude, he didn't. Find video. There's none. Maybe there's one. I think I found
You know
one.
what though? Those human errors make me like a guitar player more because sometimes you get a different experience
Well,
listening to it live.
My argument to that would be the closer you can get to perfection and not being auto-tuned, you still have human error. But you have less and more music.
but sometimes human error creates something musical.
Well,
in
he
and of
has that.
itself.
He has that in there. He's not auto-tuned. It's not like when you hear the damn pop music and there's no soul to the vocal because it's auto-tuned and snapped to hell. I'm listening to pop a lot lately. And they just snap the
as
note.
I've gotten older, weirdly enough, like I actually even understand like you can do stylistic things with autotune and make a great song.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you're a
Sure.
technically proficient singer.
Right.
But there is like I used to be like, anybody that uses autotune, you just can write them off because they're
Yeah.
not really singing. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, they are, but they're using it like as a like even like modern rock bands sometimes use it in like a stylistic like
I'm down with
hard
the style.
latching kind of way. And it doesn't make me think less of them as like it used to, you know?
There are types of voices that bode well with autotune. I mean, have you ever like
T-Pain.
So T-Pain
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
he's like the top example of like his
Cher.
voice works
Yeah.
so well with autotune.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you if you autotune, I mean, I've heard just like like funny videos, like just some regular guy that made just some spoof video, but he used auto-tune, it doesn't sound good.
Right.
Because there's a whole, there's a tonality in your voice that has to be there for auto-tune to work well.
All right, I'm tired of fucking doing music critiques and getting hot, so we're going to move on to the next section.
All right.
Pantera in the Big Four. It's unanimous.
Yes. Pantera is in the Big Four.
Anthrax?
What is your Big Four? What are you talking about?
The Big Four
of thrash.
Of thrash metal.
Oh.
The only argument is that Pantera is groove metal, but I don't care. They're still better than Anthrax. And it's
Anthrax
unanimous.
is just not even in, like, I don't understand how they even weaseled their way into that.
And I was ready for the internet to tell us, and no one had any good answers.
Pantera?
Anthrax. Well, why is
Anthrax.
Anthrax the shit? Like, why are they good?
It's literally the Big
Scott Ian has a
Four.
long
Don't you
beard
have
and
to,
looks
like,
cool.
maybe be, I don't
He was
know,
on MTV, and I
big?
remember. Good and big.
You know what,
famous.
though? Why
It's
do I hear
called
way
the
more about Anthrax
Big
than I ever do
Four.
about Pantera?
But anyway, fuck it.
Really? Because I don't ever hear about, I mean.
Maybe it's just because Dimebag has been gone for so long.
Stop, Dad.
What? Is he's getting unstuck? Oh, wow.
nice.
Oh, they is getting unstuck.
He
Look.
is.
Look at that.
Okay, so that's the BandHouse Big Four is Metallica,
I'm sorry.
Megadeth, Slayer, and Pantera. Moving on. Pantera.
Yeah, what is the... I'm out of the loop. I want to...
Pantera got two or more by now gigs.
There's always been the Big Four of thrash metal, and it's always
No. I'm talking about this
We've moved on.
controversy that, like,
We're done with
apparently
that. We're moved
Pantera...
on.
like,
okay.
I read something on like Reddit or something about one of their shows getting pulled, and actually the reason I saw it is because the Foo Fighters are taking over for their spot, which is
That's so hilarious. The most wholesome of all bands is taking over.
Yeah,
That is
awesome.
a good way to describe them. They really are like the most wholesome.
How can you replace
rock band?
the most racist band of all time with the most wholesome band?
Is that what this is?
Yeah, he used to. Phil Anselmo. Here.
I don't know.
Let me give you a quick
I don't know
rundown.
enough about them, so forgive
two
my
German
ignorance.
shows got canceled because they're afraid that he's a Nazi, and Germany is
Oh,
not
shit.
taking.
I didn't know
Germany,
it was that serious.
surprise,
Okay.
surprise. Germany doesn't take any chances when it comes to fucking people being Nazis. So they pulled them from the show, and I read some comments, did a little bit of what we call research nowadays, which is just read a little bit of more comments, and people were saying like, well, this was a long time ago. Give people a chance to grow and learn.
Was he saying stuff on stage that was like borderline
Back
racist,
in the
or was
day,
it like
white
just,
power. So that's
Seriously?
It's not that borderline. I don't know. I think this is a black power.
Seriously,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Why the fuck does he still have a career?
Well,
then?
because that was the '90s back then, and you could just say shit.
If you're blatantly saying white power in a crowd of people,
they used
how
to.
do you not get
That's the
canceled?
They used to
90s.
fly the Confederate flag.
You don't remember the '90s,
At
dude?
their
You could just
shows.
say the N-word, and nobody cared. The '90s was wild,
Why'd you
man.
take your sock off?
You seen the '90s documentary, the Woodstock thing? That's a different kind of world. They're animals back then.
Yeah, it was.
They're not civilized.
Yeah, but
Anyway.
And I mean, that's
buddy?
like the most damning
You wanna
thing
sit
about
up here?
Dimebag Darrell is that one video, man.
So-
It's crazy.
So we got a racist band that gets canceled, but here's the thing. You should have a chance to grow. You should have a chance to change, right? This was in the 90s. Phil Anselmo is a man.
Leaving.
We're all humans. We should have a chance to grow and change. That being said, I think
Dude,
he's still very racist. I think he's still a Nazi.
That's
Yeah, but that also
this is like the part where I leave
that-
the podcast.
that
and distance
leans-
myself.
That
I
leans
disagree entirely.
on also the person displaying that growth.
what I'm
right?
saying.
I was gonna
'Cause I
say,
don't
like,
So I'm
think
saying there should
he's
always
done
be an
anything
argument
to-
that if someone was a racist 20 years ago and they're not, and they're so ashamed of their past, we should be like, good
I
job.
agree. There should be a path
You should
to
be able to
redemption.
play a show. That being said,
But you have to
Phil
make-
Anselmo's not walking that path, I don't think.
Exactly. If you're not walking that path and you just like, look, I think the order of operations is some person says something racist in the public eye.
Yeah.
The public goes, fuck you.
Yeah, no.
And you have one of two ways of approaching it after that. Like, reasonably so that they're going, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
We
this
don't
person.
like that.
Cast that away. We don't want that. Sorry, I keep swearing in front of your child.
I kind of forget.
I forgot
probably
that
did
he's
too.
in like that parrot age. where
But
he
he's
says
watching
everything.
Boston.
Yeah, he's not paying
Bluey.
attention to me. Well, we don't think he is, and then we'll go home and he'll start saying it. And
He's going to have a lot of hot opinions about guitar players when he gets home.
But that's what I was going to say is like after you get, outcast from society, as you should from saying something racist.
Yep.
Like you have a path to redemption moment. But
And
no
20
one,
years
like,
is a long time.
But the thing is, it doesn't mean people have to forgive you. There's certain lines where it's like,
I don't have to like you.
I understand that racism is not born, it's taught.
For sure.
And, whatever his upbringing was, however he got that way, maybe he got that way on his own, but it's learned.
Well, make sure you get your news and information from BandHouse Podcast, because we are professional psychologists. And
my take is, if that's, I had no idea until you told me that that's what the issue was. I was in the dark.
And who knows? I know that he used to yell white power on stage, but it goes beyond that.
Well, then fuck it. If he continued to do that,
it's definitely.
I mean, Eric Clapton said a horribly racist thing like way back in, I think, the 70s or the 80s, and he apologized and he said he was like drunk or whatever. And
sure.
He didn't really make that much effort.
Blame the booze. That's fair. That's a fair blame.
But that's
he did get clean and he's better now. No,
I don't know.
We should add that in. If you're canceled, you're off the list. I don't care how good you are.
Okay, well then Eric Clapton is
off the list, dude. Dimebag, sorry, off the list.
Dimebag's off.
Eric Clapton said something like he got in a lot of hot water over the pandemic too. He was like telling people they're fucking morons for getting the vaccine and like all sorts of stuff. And like he made an anti-vax protest song like during lockdown. As did someone else too. I can't remember who the other guy was.
Donald Trump.
Probably.
Can you imagine his song?
It's just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Ignorance has no, like, it's a very
there
hard
should be consequences
for redemption.
Yeah. The consequences
like
you don't get to play music
ignorant
anymore.
views and racism for me. Like, I just like that's a hard line in the sand for me. Like, you can be ignorant on something and learn.
First, you tour without Dimebag, and then you
start
continue to be a
spouting
Nazi.
off, white supremacist talk.
I don't know if he said that recently, but I'm pretty sure he's not like saying I'm sorry.
But he has to accept these consequences, particularly in a country like Germany,
I think it's
where
dope.
that kind of talk led to something.
It feels good
horrible
when bad people get bad things happening. It feels good. I like that. I mean, I enjoy that feeling. Like,
the problem is then
because then I am good now. Now I'm good. I'm a good person. And then you draw that black and white of I'm a good, and everyone else who disagrees with me is other and they're bad.
Exactly.
Which I like to play that part on a podcast, but only when it comes to music stuff. So the reality is
we don't need any more Kanyes in the world, is what we're saying.
Oh, we should do more Kanye stuff. That's how he got famous, dude. He started blasting off about people.
I don't want to give that guy any more
Let's pick a group of people. Pick a race. Go ahead.
No.
The Irish. We could make fun of the Irish, me and you. We're good.
No. I'm not. I'm fucking not coming on the
I'm not even Irish. I'm Scottish, so that was racist right there. So you'll talk the shit.
No.
Oh, okay.
I won't.
All right, so we're not going to talk shit to any races. We're not going to be Kanye. Fine. I just want to write good songs.
Like,
it's such a funny episode to have a baby sitting there in the corner.
I know. Racism and all that. He's just over here chilling.
Dude. So that's everything in my book. I got all my shit off my chest, and I feel good. I feel like the list is going to come out nicely, and people are going to hate it, and it's going to be fine.
Just like Rolling Stone.
Exactly. We'll be just as cool as them, and everyone will hate it.
I'm going to be just as mad at this list as I was at the
But I don't.
Rolling Stone.
Luckily, it doesn't matter. So
I have horrible anxiety about how this kid is not in bed right now.
Let's wrap it up.
We should,
have him wrap it up.
Leave. Hey, Hendrix, come over here.
You want to go home? Are you having fun here?
He's having fun. Hey, come say something.
Steven that wants
come say something cute into the mic. Come here. Come say something into the mic.
No,
I think he's hit his wall.
You're gonna have to physically force him to.
What are you gonna say?
Say,
win a Starcaster.
Say, I love Malcolm Young.
You do.
Hendrix, what's your favorite song? Do you have a favorite song, Hendrix?
Yeah.
What is it?
What's your favorite song?
What's your favorite song?
What song do you want?
Do you want to sing it? Let's sing it. We'll sing it together. But you got to start it because I don't know it.
The wheels on the bus go
round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round, all through the town.
All through the town, baby.
You didn't even sing with us. Say, win a Starcaster.
Can you say that? Win a Starcaster.
Can you say, comment below to win a Starcaster?
Say like and subscribe.
Can you say something, please?
And then you can go home.
Steven, he's
He's stage
reminds me of
fright.
that video of you sitting on